Enjoy Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Get to be dealt with. It might not be the interest of government or whoever, but for me, as a citizen of Uganda, as a leader in this country, it is my interest
Leader of opposition.
that everybody follows the law. Right, Honorable Speaker, it should be our interest. It should be your interest too, Right, Honorable Speaker, because you're the custodian of the Constitution. I'm a little bit disappointed.
We have a Prime Minister who is responsible for all government officials. My work is limited to here. So the Prime Minister should take it up from there. For us, let's do what we ought to do.
Most obliged, Right, Honorable Speaker. And if you permit, maybe we shall request the Prime Minister to come to Parliament with a statement on that, because it is my assertion that some people are above the law. But government can correct that assertion. And so I do oblige that maybe we should ask the Prime Minister to come to this House with a statement saying no one is untouchable, and so this government official who did this is going to be dealt with in this way in accordance with the law.
Let me first have...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm raising on an issue that you talked about in your communication.
who are arrested. I don't know about the untouchables, but for now, let's first have the people.
You can just share with us the details, and we'll find them and share.
So let's have the details, and then we make a follow-up.
He says he doesn't have time. That sounds preposterous. Anyhow, I'm going to follow up, obviously, and I give you the names. That's okay. However, Right Honourable Speaker, and yes, for you, you're saying, Right Honourable Speaker, that might not be your interest, and I respectfully take what it is that you're saying, but for me, it is my interest that government officials follow the law, and that these who are untouchable get to be dealt with. It might not be the interest of government or whoever, but for me, as a citizen of Uganda, as a leader in this country, it is my interest
Leader of opposition.
that everybody follows the law. Right, Honourable Speaker, it should be our interest. It should be your interest too, Right, Honourable Speaker, because you're the custodian of the Constitution. I'm a little bit disappointed.
We have a Prime Minister who is responsible for all government officials. My work is limited to here. So the Prime Minister should take it up from there. For us, let's do what we ought to do.
Most obliged, Right, Honourable Speaker. And if you permit, maybe we shall request the Prime Minister to come to Parliament with a statement on that, because it is my assertion that some people are above the law. But government can correct that assertion. And so I do oblige that maybe we should ask the Prime Minister to come to this House with a statement saying no one is untouchable, and so this government official who did this is going to be dealt with in this way in accordance with the law.
Let me first have...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Speaker, I want to appreciate that you have followed up on the matter that I did raise yesterday, so that we get to see justice prevail in this good country. Honourable Speaker, yesterday I focused quite a bit on Edward Sebufu, Eddie Mutwe, who was of course abducted, tortured and all of that. He was eventually produced in court, well, of course, as opposed to being produced in, taken to a hospital. But there are others, Right Honourable Speaker, who are missing too. One, Sebude Kasim, was abducted on the same day, 27th April, as Eddie Mutwe. He's still missing to date. Mpala Nyimaiko was abducted from Matuga on 18th March 2025. Sentongo Shakur was abducted from Jinja on 5th March 2025. Honourable Speaker, up to now, and the reason I call them abductions, these were not arrests, because an arrest, an officer shows up, says, I'm officer so-and-so, I'm arresting you for this offense, and they take you to a police station. These ones were abducted by gunmen, put in drones, taken to no one knows where, up to now. Police denies knowledge about them, and so it is not known where they are. But we believe, like all these others, they're in the hands of government. Can government account for these people? But more importantly, Right Honourable Speaker, I don't know, we are saying this for the umpteenth time, when shall this stop? Why can't government operate within the law? If you want to arrest somebody, for starters, summon them. None of us has ever been summoned and we failed to show up. But if you must execute an arrest, do it within the law. Why abduct people, take them, torture them, and all of that? And finally, Right Honourable Speaker, yes, now we are demanding that Eddie Mutwe's matter be handled, him be taken to hospital, but we have not yet dealt with the question of the government official, the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who abducted him and tortured him in his basement. We have not gotten commitment from government in as far as following up this matter of a government official. I think that needs to come through. Okay. Yes, it is good that now we have picked up the matter, and I appreciate you, follow up and all, but can we have action, commitment? What is government going to do about this government official? Maybe government needs to tell us this one is untouchable. We need to hear it. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney General, I want a response to that effect on the people Lope is claiming to have been abducted. Please give my office a feedback.
Thank you, Right Honourable. I am sure he will.
My interest is on the people who are arrested. I don't know about the untouchables, but for now, let's first have the people.
You can just share with us the details, and we'll find them and share.
So let's have the details, and then we make a follow-up.
He says he doesn't have time. That sounds preposterous. Anyhow, I'm going to follow up, obviously, and I give you the names. That's okay. However, Right Honourable Speaker, and yes, for you, you're saying, Right Honourable Speaker, that might not be your interest, and I respectfully take what it is that you're saying, but for me, it is my interest that government officials follow the law, and that these who are untouchable get to be dealt with. It might not be the interest of government or whoever, but for me, as a citizen of Uganda, as a leader in this country, it is my interest that everybody follows the law. Right Honourable Speaker, it should be our interest. It should be your interest too, Right Honourable Speaker, because you're the custodian of the Constitution. I'm a little bit disappointed.
We have a Prime Minister who is responsible for all government officials. My work is limited to here. So the Prime Minister should take it up from there. For us, let's do what we ought to do.
Most obliged, Right Honourable Speaker. And if you permit, maybe we shall request the Prime Minister to come to Parliament with a statement on that, because it is my assertion that some people are above the law. But government can correct that assertion. And so I do oblige that maybe we should ask the Prime Minister to come to this House with a statement saying no one is untouchable, and so this government official who did this is going to be dealt with in this way in accordance with the law.
Let me first have...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm raising on an issue that you talked about in your communication about the tax bills and the subsequent budget process that we are in. Right Honourable Speaker, I will request to remind you and the House that USAID has been a major funder of our health sector. And there have been serious changes that put USAID off. It is very important, Right Honourable Speaker, that as we conclude the budget process, the Minister of Health, together with the Minister of Finance, addresses Parliament on what amount of money we are missing as a result of USAID being put off, and what effect it has.
Madam
Speaker. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Mine is an appeal to the Attorney General, who is the legal principal advisor of government, either as a principal legal advisor or as a friend, because last time you were the one chairing the parties of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Please help us as a country. I don't think that's a company you want to keep. A legal principal advisor of government that people can be abducted and are tortured in basements. please give us a commitment that if you can't advise as a principal legal advisor, at least as a friend, because we need to live in peace.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is sometimes difficult to speak after my brother, but I want to agree with you that we have a very big problem of overpopulation in our prisons. I give a reference of a Masaf prison in the Busia district, which was built to accommodate almost 30 prisoners, but it has almost 800 per now. It is terrible. And the structures were built in 1960s. They are very old. They don't give a true picture of modernity. I don't know whether it is a problem with internal affairs. Even the same case is going to the police station of Busia. If you go to Busia, Uganda, and look at the police station compared with the police station of Kenya, you think we are still living in the old Stone Age period. And therefore, Madam Speaker, the chairman is saying that smugglers are arrested there. There's no smuggler in Busia. All those people are cross-border traders. There's no smuggler in Busia at all. The Kube market in Kenya and the market of Busia, those are markets of cross-border traders. And even Honorable Cheru was a cross-border trader, the State Minister for Works. So, therefore, Madam Speaker, as they work on the prison of Masaf to construct it, and the prison and the police station of Busia.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the records are very clear. I have never been involved in trading, whether cross borders. I have never been in trading, but I sit in order for a colleague to say that he knows I was involved in cross-border trade when he doesn't have such facts.
So therefore, Madam Speaker,
at least you are an arrow boy.
Therefore, Madam Speaker and my colleagues, it is my prayer that the police station of Busia, which is a gateway to Uganda, they should be considered among the police stations that are going to be constructed this year, and even Masaf prisons. However, Honorable Minister, I've just remembered you're a freedom fighter. Thank you.
Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Francis.
Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give the House, and that I'm giving now, is that when the Human Rights Committee of Parliament visited Ruzira, there were prisoners who shouted and said, "We have been here for 28 years. And when we interrogated, we found some of them, including a one-year Ruhanga, have been in prison for 28 years and they have never visited court. And they say they are there on the minister's orders. And we are told there are very many like those, 28 years, 26 years, the Attorney General knows when they say minister's orders. There are people who are in prison on minister's orders. I don't know who that minister is. Pending. Yes, pending. And they have never gone to court. Leave alone remand and you go to court and come back to prisons. These ones have never left Ruzira for 28 years. So we are asking, can't he come in as the Attorney General and advise on how, if they can't try them, let them, so that we deal with congestion. Otherwise, actually 3 are from Buhweju. The one we are Ruhanga is from Buhweju. There were 3 from Barara. And our concern, right, Honourable Speaker, is that those, if they cannot be prosecuted, then they should be released so that we can decongest these prisons.
Honourable AG, kindly make a follow-up on the decongestion of prisons and make sure that the people that we've recruited, the judges, the magistrates, all those people should make sure that we reduce the number.
Honourable Speaker, I just wanted to help the House with some statistics that are very alarming. Our country's prisons, the holding capacity of all the prisons in this our country is 22,000 prisoners. As we speak today, the number of prisoners in these prisons is 79,000. against a holding capacity of 22,000. That means an excess of over 57,000. That's problematic. Part of the issue, well, yes, space and the need for expansion, but part of the issue is the judicial processes and how they get to happen. That people get to be on remand for donkey's years. It is wrong. Honourable Speaker, I have said severally on this floor, asking the Attorney General and government to help us understand. The Supreme Court on 31st of January said all of these people who are being held by the General Court Martial, and there are several of them, let their files be transferred to civilian courts. That way they can pursue bail and so on and so forth. To date, it has not happened. And the Attorney General has been silent on this matter. I don't know why they continue to be in contempt of a decision of the Supreme Court. Because that's part of the reason why we have all of these congestions. Because they are on the other end, the General Court Martial denied them bail. A number of them. Why not transfer their files to the civilian courts? They get to pursue bail, or that their matters are tried expeditiously. Because some of these people have been held for years upon years. Why? The Attorney General should help us understand. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, there is a saying I read many years ago, I'm not even too sure who it is attributed to, that I may disagree with what you say, but I will defend to death your right to say it. I may have issues with the bill being promoted by my sister, Honourable Nakut, but I think she has the right to bring her bill, and then and yes, we are going to have occasion to deal with it in the committee stage, and then ultimately when we get to the House and we discuss, how plausible it is that you can force people, you sit and negotiate and discuss by force. We'll get to that point. My concern though, Right Honourable Speaker, even as she has the right to bring any kind of bill in this House, I have an issue and I request for your guidance procedurally, Right Honourable Speaker. There is a hurriedness through which we seem to be doing these things, which is concerning. Yesterday, she did seek leave to bring this bill. I don't know where the consultations got to happen as quickly as they have happened. Certificate of financial implication.
The committee is going to make consultation.
Honourable Speaker, kindly allow me, because you're going to rule, let me just finish my procedural issue for your guidance, Right Honourable Speaker. So she's gotten the certificate of financial implication. Maybe in the night, government is saying they don't sleep. Okay. But then, and as I connect this even to the other bill that was tabled yesterday for the first reading, the UPDF amendment bill. Yesterday it gets to be read for the first time, and there is a notice in the night, and people are being told, different stakeholders, Ministry of Defense, Attorney General, Law Reform Commission, Uganda Law Society, LDC, Secretary Generals of political parties, who were invited in the night to say, you come with your memoranda this morning at 9 a.m. to the committee to give your views on the UPDF amendment bill. This is a bill that is over 140 pages. People receive it in the evening, and there is a notice, including a gazette, Right Honourable Speaker, which was signed by the clerk to Parliament, saying, bring your memoranda not later than today, 14th. I don't know. It is suspect, Right Honourable Speaker, that we expect people hurriedly read through this bill in the night, come in the morning with a memoranda and views. Why do we seem to be rushing, Right Honourable Speaker? Because if these bills are good, the political parties and organizations amendment bill, the UPDF amendment bill, if they are good laws, why do we, I'm on procedure, Honourable Chimosho? The rules don't allow you. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. So as I was saying, why, if these are good laws, why, I'm on procedure. Honourable Chimosho, you're a new member like me, kindly read the rules. The rules are very clear. Procedure takes precedence. The way I read as a first-time MP, I encourage you to also read them. And the new rules, by the way. Thank you, Honourable colleague. Honourable, as I was finishing.
You're not going to lecture my
No, I'm just encouraging him to read. Actually, Honourable Speaker, you should be happy that I'm encouraging members to read our rules. But as I finish, Right Honourable Speaker, if these bills are good bills, why do you not want to give them time? We excogitate over them. The different stakeholders get time to prepare their views and memoranda, come with it to the committees, and then we get to discuss them properly. Why are we hurrying? And Honorable Speaker, I want to table the notice that was put in the Gazette yesterday saying, bring your memoranda and your thoughts not later than today. And also the notice, the letter from the committee inviting Secretaries General and so on, written in the night saying, come at 9 a.m. and give us your views about a bill that's 140 pages plus. Why are we in a hurry, Right Honorable Speaker? Why do we not give it time, get all the views? Because they are good bills. Allow people to give their input, and then we can debate these good bills. Thank you.
Thank you. We are only trying to be efficient as Parliament, and we should do the work and deliver within the time we expected. But that does not mean that if we have said, if clerk has said, bring your views, that the bill will be brought the next day. The committee is going to continue interrogating and come with a report. Oh. I'm not saying they are bringing it today. Yeah, they will give the stakeholders time.
Madam
I
Speaker.
mean, there is no hurry.
Madam Speaker.
There is no hurry.
Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The leader of opposition lectured me on how he has been reading the rules and how he has mastered them. But in his verbal utterances, didn't refer this Parliament to any rule that has been breached by a member.
Done.
And when you're on the point of procedure, Right Honourable, he ought to have referred to us which procedure of our rules has been breached. But when you talk randomly, because you're a leader of opposition, is he therefore procedurally right to keep wasting Parliament time because he's a leader of opposition and we listen to endless nothing?
Next item. Next item.
Item 4 on the order paper.
Jonah? What does the...
Thank you, right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the procedure I want to raise is that yesterday you had made some guidance, you can call it a ruling, when the Honorable Matthias Mpuga had also sought to raise these issues, and you said is free to go to the committee. I wanted you to be clear whether the committee can entertain proposals that have not formally been introduced here, given that the advice was for him to work with the mover so that his ideas are incorporated. That's the first one.